This video is sponsored by my favorite website creator, Squarespace, the best place to go when you want to get a domain or create a gorgeous website or an online store. I mean, you really are the cutest, because whenever I ask you what kind of videos you want me to make, the most common request is always like that you guys just want to hang out and see like my everyday routines and lifestyle stuff. So let's just hang out today. I'm taking you along like a normal work day and how I structure my time and all of that. So today is just like a normal admin day because I felt that maybe that would be like the most relevant for you guys. I mean, admin is like taxes or dying. We all have to do it eventually, you know what I mean? But if you want me to do one on like a day off, like a lazy Saturday type of video as well, do let me know. Also, my book launch was the other week, and of course David filmed some from the night, so we'll show you a little bit from that celebration later in this video too. Let's start in the morning, and for those of you who watched my morning routine video, you know that after getting dressed and washing my face and that, I need a huge pot of tea to like take me through the morning work hours. I'm ready to start working usually around 7:30ish, and I go non-stop until like noon or 12:30ish when I break for lunch. So how do you guys do with like planning and to-do lists? I used to have like a very advanced Google Doc with like color coding and day-by-day plans, but I don't know, I just felt like it killed the romance for me. A lot of the charm with working from home with my own business, especially in, you know, like a creative field, is that it has that sort of Sex and the City romantic touch, like sitting by a window in a big city in a cute outfit and lipstick and typing away, making smart little observations about parties you've been to while drinking cappuccino from a cute little cup and listening to Miles Davis and Etta Jones. You know what I mean? That type of mood. And obviously having your own business working from home is nothing like that at all. It's really quite brutal at times, although it might not seem like it. So that's why I want to like hold on to the Sex and the City romance as much as I humanly can, and like a highly efficient color-coded to-do list is not it. So instead I do like a weekly to-do list written by hand in a notebook with a 0.25 tip black ink pen to get that beautifully dainty handwriting, because when I did the day-to-day to-do list on my laptop, I never managed to finish all of my tasks for the day anyway, and of course that's just stressful. So now I give myself a week, and okay, so I've never managed to finish my tasks for the week either, but at least it means that I only have to move stuff to the next to-do list once a week instead of like once every day. So right now I'm quite in love with my work. I find it fulfilling and like I'm happy most of the time with it. And yes, it's too much to do and I still work way too many hours. But since the renovation has calmed down, because you guys, I am very pleased and very proud to tell you that I think that we are officially finished. So go look at the room tour videos if you haven't yet. And because we've finished, like life is slowly starting to come back to being like more sustainable. And when I'm stressed, work can sometimes feel like totally overwhelming. And it has been like that for more than a year now. So I'm like so happy and relieved that I have now again started to fall in love with just, you know, the work. So sitting by my desk in my own study feels like such a luxury. And I know this is quite a normal thing to a lot of people, but in London, having a spare room like a study, it's honestly like a holy grail. Like considering the housing prices, so I really feel incredibly lucky to have a room of my own. I still don't have the right furniture for it, and I will exchange stuff with like vintage pieces as we go along. But honestly, I'm in no rush because I'm happy in there. It's like, it's calming. And have you seen those windows? Like I sit in this sunny corner all day long working. So in this room with renovations over, even admin work can be quite like calming and nice. So to add to that Sex and the City romance aspect, I do listen to jazz or like classical music when working. And I have my Sencha matcha blend tea, and I just try to make my mornings like almost like a holy little package of time where I just like focus and get things done. David actually works by the dining table in the kitchen because he likes to be in like a sort of bustly place when he works, and sometimes on admin days I join him in there so that we can have like an ongoing meeting where we discuss everything that pops up in the inbox during the morning. But honestly, I don't know why, but I'm the opposite of David. Like I love sitting in the quietest corner of the flat alone for hours, just focusing on myself without interruptions. So when I hear of other authors going to cafes to write, or like people who love their office environment because they can't focus when working from home, it's like mind-boggling to me. Writing my novels in a cafe, I could never. Like, I'm way too distracted by people, and I feel like I always keep track of what's going on and what everyone else is doing. What about you? Doing your best work when you're alone or when surrounded by people? Poor David alone at that dining table working all day long when I'm in my study. He should get some like social colleagues, poor boy. For lunch, as you know, we just like to eat the same thing every day because it makes it so much easier to choose. So noodle soup is probably our favorite lunch, and it's so easy but so tasty. I do think that if I could just have one dish for the rest of my life, I would go with some kind of noodle soup. Are you with me? So like, we change up the ingredients once in a while, but usually it's vegan bouillon powder, garlic, ginger, noodles, broccoli, spinach or kale, pan-fried firm tofu, topped with raw bell pepper for crunch, and some red onions, and soy sauce, rice vinegar, and hot sauce. Oh, and a bit of kimchi if we're feeling fancy. You know, we used to always make our own kimchi at home because it's seriously the tastiest kimchi you could ever have. Plus, it's so much cheaper. So we would like let it ferment a bit longer and make it like extra potent and flavorful, because kimchi flavor is better almost than every other flavor, am I right? So in our kimchi, we use like nori seaweed instead of fish, as is often in kimchi traditionally. So it is vegan and it's so healthy, and it's one of those things that I've been looking forward to with the renovations being over and like life calming down a bit, to cook more, and specifically to like always have a batch of our own kimchi in the fridge. Also, you know, to like actually have time for a social life that doesn't just consist of me and David and our builders building together. After lunch is my most tired moments of the day. I can't really focus on anything heavy or complicated, so I save up some easier, like nicer work, like just tackling the inbox or like drafting TikToks or having Zoom meetings. So if I can, I'll usually work from the sofa in the afternoon, like lighting some candles and making myself an iced coffee or an ice cold sparkling water, and just listening to some jazz, because I feel like working in the afternoon when I'm tired, it should feel like more of a treat rather than like the daily grind, you know what I mean? So this specific admin day, I first like had a Zoom meeting with my publisher, which, you know, I can't really film for you because I'm not sure how much Helen from marketing and Kim, my publicist, feel like, you know, reporting on book stuff in front of all of you guys. But then after the meeting, I've been drafting TikToks, which is so much fun, but also quite a lot of work creatively, because it's sort of a non-stop having like new ideas all the time kind of thing, you know what I mean? So I do love the format of TikTok, like seriously, I'm just in love with doing them. Like the combination of like a cute outfit with like the perfectly like moody piece of music with some like snappy, fun, sexy writing. It's so gratifying to me as a work task, because I truly love it when I can finish a piece of content in one go, from start to finish in like one sitting, which probably makes you go like, but what about them novels? And you're right, those are long as hell projects, but I do tend to like break them up into scenes, and always trying to like schedule enough hours for every writing session to finish one scene. So it just makes like any creative work more like mentally sustainable and satisfying, I feel like, when I can finish a piece of work so it feels like contained and sort of, yeah, like finished. Normally, I aim for my sort of hardcore work day to finish at 4 p.m. when I do my exercise, and then only do like research by reading novels or like having the odd Zoom meeting in the evening. So this is not always possible though. I often do end up working till like 9 p.m. and then just eating in front of Terrace House before crashing in bed at like 11. But you know, I am an influencer, and that does mean that quite often evenings mean work events. So like fashion brands, or I don't know, TV premiere parties or that kind of thing, or as in more recently, a whole lot of book launches. And as I think I mentioned the beginning of the video, yes, last week was my very own little book launch for my very own little debut novel. It's such a dream come true. Like this summer for me, I can't even believe that I get to do these things now. So this is really silly and all, but I'm actually like finding it a little bit hard to talk about the other night and like these last few months without getting a tiny bit emotional, because I just think of like how many people have been involved in making this book happen. Like everyone from the publisher, but also like every one of you who pre-ordered it and like have shouted about it on social media or like Goodreads, and also like more than anyone, of course, David. I mean, you are right behind the camera right now, David, and like I've told you a million times before, just like how grateful I am, but like David has taken care of our whole life where I've been sitting at my desk hacking away at the keyboard. So like, let me just one more time for the record on camera say that like, just thank you, man. You've been really great. Honestly, David might actually be like the most supportive partner out there, and I have told you this before, but if you don't have a David already, you need to get one yourself. But anyway, what I want to know, especially from UK people, have you seen OK Days out in the wild in the bookshop? If you do see it in the shop, or if you already have like your own copy, can you please tag me in a photo, like DM me or something like that? Because if you read it or if you want to read it, it's seriously so cool and so surreal to me to like see that it has its own life, like out there in the world. So I live for all this stuff. Also, I do have some events coming up if you want to hear me talk about the book in person, so on stage in London. I will keep you posted, of course. Okay, on this soppy, sentimental note, let's get back to business. And do tell me if you want more routine videos. You know, like I mentioned, I could do like a lazy Saturday off, or more like food-centered, or I don't know, about my creative routine, or whatever you feel like really. Do tell me in the comments and give me a little like if you enjoy these type of videos. Oh, and subscribe if you're new around here, why not? Take care of yourself this week. Hope that you're having a magical summer so far and that you're not working too hard. Summer is for relaxing and refreshing, don't you think? Do you want to create a beautiful site and maybe start your own blog? If so, you should definitely do it with Squarespace. Because listen to this, with Fluid Engine, a next generation website design system, it's never been easier for anyone to unlock their creativity. You start with like an incredible template and customize everything by simply like dragging and dropping, so it couldn't be more easier. They also have great blogging tools to share your stories, photos and videos to make it easy to reach your audience. And you can also auto-post your content to Twitter, Facebook and Tumblr. Squarespace are also great with traffic analytics so that you can see how many people are visiting your site, how long they're staying for, where they're coming from and what they're interested in, like books or fashion or maybe interior design, for example. So what are you waiting for? Go get your free trial today at squarespace.com, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/jennymustard to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much for watching today, and see you next week, I hope. Lots of love and puss puss.